Good afternoon. My name is Craig Cipriano. I'm the president of MTA Bus Company, and I'm really happy to be here today in the Bronx, joined by Lisa Soren, president of the New Bronx Chamber of Commerce, Yasmin Cruz, executive director of Westchester Squared Business Improvement District, and Bobby Jean, executive director of the Throgs Neck Business Improvement District. So first, let me tell my colleagues, thank you for having me up here today. It's really exciting and great to be here on this beautiful day up here in the Bronx. As you all know, many of our local establishments are still reeling from the pandemic. The bakeries, bars, stores, you name it. Everyone has been impacted by the unprecedented challenges of this last year. But now it's time to get New York moving. And we're here to move New Yorkers so that neighborhoods of this borough can thrive once again. I'm confident that together we can play key roles in bringing the Bronx back after the incredible, difficult 15 months. But despite the challenges of this last year, Bronxites have continued to take the bus throughout this pandemic. Rates of ridership here are among the highest across the city. In fact, just last week on May 6th, buses reached its all-time highest single-day ridership since front door boarding resumed last summer, with nearly 260,000 riders a day using our Bronx buses, and 1.2 million daily riders system-wide on that day. So we're excited that people are coming back. We have made significant progress on improving busways in the Bronx and Upper Manhattan to ensure that as people return to the system, they'll experience better trips and shorter trip times. Just last month, we launched the 181st Street busway in Upper Manhattan, and we've already seen improvements of about 34% on trip times right there on that corridor. That busway will help 5 Bronx bus routes for those commuters that are commuting into Upper Manhattan. Last July, bus lanes were installed on 149th Street so that riders on the BX2, BX4, BX17, and 19, which had similar success in speeding up trip times in population-rich parts of this borough. Our partners at City DOT have been integral in these improvements. And just yesterday, the mayor announced 28 new miles of bus lanes throughout the city. And many of these bus improvement projects will be right here in the Bronx, and we're excited for that. New bus boarding islands, street redesigns, and transit signal priority will be part of those efforts. So great things are happening at the MTA. We're modernizing and improving our bus fleet, and the MTA is currently planning to award 45 new electric buses by the end of this year. Bronx customers can expect to ride some of these electric buses as we deploy them in all 5 boroughs throughout the city. But the reality is we still need more people riding buses. We need more people coming out and using our local storefronts. We're seeing increases, but now is the time for customers to fully return. But I'm biased. I think the buses are the best way to get around town. So if you started traveling around the city, please take the bus. So let's all work together to get the Bronx moving again. And with that said, I'd like to introduce Lisa Sorensen, president of the Bronx Chamber of Commerce. Thank you.
That's spectacular. Thank you. Hi, it's a pleasure to welcome everyone. My name is Lisa Soren, president of the Bronx Chamber of Commerce. The importance of the Bronx Chamber of Commerce being here today is really about a shout out to residents, employees, employers about using public transportation because our small businesses depend on it. When you're traveling to and from work, as we're all getting back to in the offices, although some of you have enjoyed staying home, as we're getting back, the businesses, those that you visit for your coffee or your lunches, as you're getting in and out and running your errands after or before work. It is so important that we help in the recovery. The Bronx Chamber is working hard towards that recovery, working with our businesses, working with our partners at business improvement districts, but we need the help of our consumers, the consumers that are perfectly happy coming back, shopping in the stores as you're so used to, and we're here to help. there's safety, there is opportunity, and we're ready to get back to work. We are ready to come and enjoy our businesses. Any assistance we can give you, any guidance we can provide for our businesses, our business improvement districts, and our partners across this borough. Let's say exactly like was said before, let's get the Bronx moving, let's build our businesses, and we're going to do it together. Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa. Now I'd like to introduce Yasmin Cruz, Executive Director of Westchester Square Business Improvement District.
I'm proud to be the Executive Director of this great district. We had a lot of resilient businesses through the pandemic. We had 95% of our essential businesses open. We personally saw the decrease in ridership, but now, as you can see, we see people coming back on the buses and trains and visiting our local businesses. What we welcome you is we are open for tourism, whether you're out of state or from the other boroughs. We want you to come through to Westchester Square. There's buses and trains. We're known as a major transportation hub, and we just want to be able to support our businesses and continue this in our economy. Thank you.
Thank you, Yasmin. Now, Bobby Jean, Executive Director of the Thrive Next Business Improvement District.
Thank you. I always hate going after the ladies because they always say everything so eloquently. My name is Bob Jean. I'm the Executive Director of the Thrive Next bid and very proud to be that person. Yes, we do have to get back. We started this bid a year ago and we got dropped into the deep end of the pool right away. But the one thing that I can say more than anything else, yes, we do need ridership to increase. We do need the trains and the buses to come. Even though we don't get train service, we have an enormous amount of people that come to us with the busing. But the thing that I want to say the most, the best experience a person can have, a shopper, somebody coming out for dinner, somebody just coming to look at the neighborhood, is the experience of meeting people like the Thrive Next and the Westchester Square merchants who through everything, and I mean everything, stayed together to stay open, to service the people that did come. And I'm very proud of my merchants. I shouldn't even be standing up here talking, it should be them, because that's what we're all about. And the one thing I always say is that we're Thrive Next strong. And it's always because our resilience always comes out. If you want an experience and you want to try something a little bit different, a little bit more personalized, come to our bars, our restaurants, our eateries, our nail salons, our hair salons, and come and meet the people that are veterans that fought in the trenches through this COVID to get where we are today. And that's reopened and flourishing hopefully again in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Bob. Before we open up to any potential questions, Lisa and Jasmine would just like to say a few words in Spanish.
Me lo va a perdonar si el español no está perfecto, pero estamos aquí hoy como la Cámara de Comercio del Condado del Bronx para pedirle que nuestros negocios pequeños necesiten que los consumidores, que los empleados vengan y usen los autobuses, la transportación pública para poder traer más personas a visitar los negocios. Nuestros negocios no pueden seguir si las personas no vienen a visitar. Y la forma mucho más fácil de poder viajar sería usando el autobús y usando transportación pública. Gracias.
Estoy representando el distrito de Westchester Square, un distrito que estamos centralizados con los autobuses y básicamente tenemos varios restaurantes locales, pequeños negocios que necesitan la ayuda y el soporte de todo el mundo. Lo invitamos para que todos visiten y apoyen a estos negocios.
Okay, thank you very much. We'll open up if there are any questions from anyone. Yeah, okay. So, as far as using public transportation, what we would say is, we're still continuing to disinfect every bus every day, right? We've been here throughout the COVID, and we, want people to start coming back. In regards to, potential, use of public transit and any dangers, we continue to work with our partners at NYPD. We do have our own MTA police and Eagle team, as well as bridge and tunnel officers, patrolling our buses as well, in and out. So, we welcome everyone back, and we're going to be here to make it as safe as we can.
Other questions, sir? Anybody? Yes?
Okay, if you guys could say something specific about the Bronx. I understand during the pandemic, ridership was low all over the place, but the Bronx ridership was the least low. And so people of the Bronx have a special relationship with the buses and the trains. A lot of that has to do with how many essential workers are in the Bronx. And if you guys could say something about that specific to the Bronx, yeah.
Sure. So what we've seen throughout the pandemic, like I said, is that Bronx ridership remained the strongest. In fact, it was about 50% of pre-pandemic riders throughout the pandemic. It stayed strong, and we think that's a testament, just as you had mentioned, that essential workers, and then even more than essential workers, is that Bronxites rely on bus public transit to complete their essential trips, whether that means going to the supermarket, going to the doctor. But it's not only about work trips, but it's also about essential life trips. Sure.
I would also add that the Bronx is a Bronx, right? And at the end of the day, nothing stops us. But in reality, is you also have a lot of communities that you can only access via bus. And people needed to get to work. People, to your point, needed to get to the essential businesses, and even visiting or checking in on families. But it always is about being able to know that you have a safe, productive way of traveling, and the bus system has never given up on us, and it makes it that much easier, because while the cab services and things took a step back, the MTA stepped up with their buses, their cleaning protocols, and it made it very, very easy and comfortable for us to come back and use public transportation. Of course. If I remember what I said in Spanish. La razón que yo digo que las personas del Bronx no han dejado de usar los autobuses es fácil. En lo que tuvimos los taxis y los carros públicos que dejaron de trabajar la mayoría del tiempo en lo que tuvimos bajo la pandemia, los autobuses MTA verdaderamente se puso al tanto de limpieza, de poder hacer las cosas súper mucho más fácil para los que estaban viajando, para la familia y los que tenían que ir a trabajar. Pudimos depender de ellos para poder pasarnos a nosotros algo muy fácil de ir y regresar de trabajo y cosas personales.
Okay, thank you very much, everyone. Thank you.